He was in Bad Nauheim. They were stationed outside of Bad Nauheim. Bad Nauheim was considered a Red Cross zone. Nobody...
Okay. Neutral.
Very neutral, because we not only had all the soldiers that were wounded from every nation in in the hotels and into sanatoriums, and every hotel was fitted out to be a hospital. All the big hotels in that time. That was a spa city.
Oh.
No, my forced labor was right the year before, prior.
So what were you doing at the time? You're 15 by now.
At 15, I was doing when there was a war going on. I didn't know who was winning. But I had to do forced labor at a farm, and that was a altogether different area than Frankfurt. I didn't know we were bombed out in Frankfurt till I went home, and there was no letter writing or telephoning. I just got on the when my time was up. I just got on the train and went to Frankfurt to go home. My mother had an idea when I might show up or something, and there was no house no more. My piano hung out of the window, and everything was destroyed. I looked inside, and I found that the steps to the basement were like rubble-free. So I went down to the steps, and I just found some jars of fruit left, that my mother had canned and stuff like that, and I brought it up, and I had some of that. And then, now the next thing, I had to find out where to go. I didn't know where my mother was, or where anybody was, my sisters, anybody.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, they could have been dead, for all I know. But from there, I made my way to Bad Nauheim, which was not that far. Probably hitchhiked, which I did a lot in those days. And from Frankfurt, I hitchhiked to Bad Nauheim. My grandmother, and there my mother was there. My mother was there with my youngest sister, who was schooling in Frankfurt, and then school stopped. We were bombed out, and she had to go to Bad Nauheim.
What was the name of the town that you lived in?
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
It was in Frankfurt?
Yeah, we lived in Frankfurt. Frankfurt, and actually it was like New York, Brooklyn, New York. I lived in Bonheim, Frankfurt, and that was,
a borough or
a borough.
And that had heavy bombing and all that.
Heavy
she came
bombing,
home from forced labor.
Well, you missed.
Came home on the train to find her piano
It's
dangling
on
out
here,
the window.
She was straight by a fighter plane.
Oh, that was when I was in Bad Nauheim.
I didn't hear that story ever, Oma.
Well, it was just an incident. Then once I went to Bad Nauheim, I had already when I came home, I had started an apprenticeship in Frankfurt, in a store, in a very fine store, department store, one of the finest in Frankfurt. I remember this part. At that time, I was very early in the apprenticeship, maybe a couple of months, and I used to take the train from Bad Nauheim to Frankfurt to my job, and then all of a sudden the tracks were all bombed. So no more, I couldn't go to work anymore. There was no such thing. The last time I went to work, I had to hitchhike and walk. We walked through the night, from Frankfurt to Bad Nauheim. So anyway, and I was home practically every day. And for that time, I had to, like I said, fighting was still going on in pockets, so you never knew. Sometimes you saw a plane overhead, and you knew it was the enemy. They had like observation planes that came very low and flew very slow. We used to call them storks, because they flew just to take pictures of everything, and then I guess report to headquarters or something. But we used to watch them and see what they were doing. And then I had to go to Bad Nauheim, when I was in Bad Nauheim, I took the bicycle, and I had to go to Friedberg probably to get something, buy something, whatever. And while I was there on a field road, through the fields, from one little village to another, and a fighter plane came zigzagging down, and as he come down, he's shooting his machine gun. So I'm just jumping off the bike and throwing myself into the side, on the side of the road, in indentation, And he might have thought it was cute, to scare somebody, because he could. I saw his face. He saw me. So there's a girl with nothing else around. Why would he? Why would he a machine gun? He might have thought just to scare me or to have a laugh.
Yeah.
Like honking
but
the
it
horn.
happened.
Like honking the horn.
Yeah, right. Like honking a horn. Yeah. You could say that.
A little bit different.
Yeah.
Considering you could drop dead.
Yeah, a little scary when the bullets start hitting you all alongside of you. Yeah, but so like now when you read it pass-by shooting or drive-by shooting, that's more or less what it was. Fly-by shooting.
Fly-by.
Fly-by
Is that
shooting.
their phone?
Our phone.
I
Yeah.
did it.
I'll pause it.